Here's a question for you. You are told that this waterfall plot obtained from measurements at the bearings of a centrifugal compressor. As the running speed increases, a large subsynchronous vibration appears at a little less than 1/2 of running speed. The vibration grows rapidly, and eventually the machine trips offline due to high vibration levels. Now, an old machinery hand looks at this and says, "This machine just needs better balance." Do you agree with this statement? Pause for a second and think about it. If this were imbalance, what would we expect? Imbalance produces vibration at 1x running speed, always synchronous. It tracks running speed exactly. It does not suddenly appear at half speed. It does not create a strong subsynchronous peak. So if you see a dominant peak at about 0.45x to 0.48x, that is your first red flag. This is not classical imbalance behavior. What we are seeing here is an subsynchronous instability, most likely oil whirl, oil whip, or rotor dynamic instability driven by cross-coupled stiffness. This behavior is common in high-speed turbomachinery, like a centrifugal compressor. And once the rotor speed crosses a threshold, the instability becomes self-excited. That's why the vibration suddenly grows. This is a stability problem, not a balance problem. Balancing reduces 1x vibration, but this vibration is not 1x. Balancing will not remove cross-coupled aerodynamic forces, fluid-induced destabilizing forces, poor bearing dynamic characteristics. If you attempt balancing as the primary fix, you are treating the wrong disease. If this is a stability problem, what should we do? Here are real solutions. First is increase rotor stiffness. A stiffer rotor shifts critical speeds and improves stability margins. The second is use orthotropic bearing stiffness support, because directional stiffness can suppress forward whirl instability. The third option is increase external damping. Damping is your friend in stability problems. More damping means more energy dissipation and thus less instability growth. The fourth solution is reducing destabilizing forces. This could include reducing cross-coupled aerodynamic stiffness, modifying seals, adjusting bearing design, and reducing swirl effects. The goal is to reduce the energy feeding the instability. Here's the big takeaway. Not all vibration is imbalance. If you automatically blame imbalance, you will miss rotor dynamic instability problems. And instability problems can destroy machines. A waterfall plot is not just a pretty 3D picture. It tells you whether the system is stable or unstable. So what do you think? If you were handed this machine, would you balance it or would you investigate rotor stability? Let me know in the comments. That's all for today. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next videos.